Hello and welcome back to Nathan's Garage. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope today's shenanigans live up to your highest hopes. We'll see. Again, thank you to all the Patreons. I've now set up a level in Patreon and the videos are going there a day early with extra updates and photos and all that good stuff. So that's that. Same setup is going to be happening on YouTube membership, join, whatever it is called. So that will be happening soon. T-shirt is in design, which is awesome. It's really nice. I really love this design that we are doing right now. Tastic has really knocked it out of the park with this one. And today is the big day. It is touchdown, tack it, it's not going anywhere day. Let's get on. One thing I also just did, because I'm so limited for space right now, having washers and stuff in and everything, I had this actually in here, but I can't. So I actually bought casters for it a while ago, but I was going to return them, but nope, I just put them on this morning. So now I have double the workspace. Tastic said, does that mean the trash cans go back to their normal life? And I was like, no, you just get double. It's just such a silly thing to say. Right, so the next thing we are going to be doing is, I just put that in front of the truck last night, and the width of the front fenders is they're actually holding themselves actually in pretty good width as to where they're going to be. The radiator setup, same as the F series, I'm going to push it back about 2 inches to the back set of holes, give some room to that core support to go in. First thing today is we made these lines to mark where the truck is going to be. Now, if I'm within 3 mil of those lines on both sides, we're golden, with measurements making the cab straight. I'm within 3 mil twist and 3 mil side to side right now, but I want to see if I can get it closer. So as I say, those lines are a general reference, and then measurements will take it even closer to bob on. We'll be looking at tire pressures to get it level, and then we'll look at the cab level front to back, because I think that mount is lower because it's on a different strengthening bar, but it seems to be on the right plane as the car. So I'm intrigued to put a level there and a level there to see if the bubble is in the same place, or an angle finder on my phone, either of them. So yeah, so fenders off and tape measure out. We seem to have our resident dust relocation specialists. Okay, today, so what I'm doing, I'm trying to do everything before the cab touches down and my access gets really limited, like closing those. Now, there is a gentleman called Steve Mirabelli on the YouTube, and his build's just stunning, and he is really methodical in putting the strength back in the vehicle, because, you know, we're cutting the top off and putting a different top on in a garage. On that note, I'm really happy that this has been able to stay in. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another 2-inch box underneath here, and that will meet with this bottom lip perfectly. And what that does, it gives me a really strong lip there and more strength on the side of the vehicle, which just, you know, Tastic will be driving this, and it's got to be strong. It can be a bit heavier, it has to be strong. Like so. Now, because it's on this seam that you can see in that corner right there, it sits away from the actual sill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it in, so that makes it flat on this face. You see, that makes it flat on this face. Can weld it there, can weld it on the edges, all that kind of stuff, and the front. Then underneath, I think what I'm going to do, we will be pulling the cab off, and in that gap there, going to stick some, I don't know, I'll measure it and get some flat stock inserted in there. Can plug weld it on the back of the sill when I pull the cab off, and then seam it all along. It'll just make it really strong. Yeah, that looks pretty awesome actually. Okay, that looks proper. Same on the other side, and did that little cover panel there, which is going to get seam sealed. But yeah, oh, very happy about that. Very, very happy. It'll give something to make a sill panel off, like a rocker lower panel coming off the bottom there. Nice. Very, very, very nice. Right, we have definitely got to a point of 100% procrastination of cab position, because it's pretty much ready to go. I think I'm gonna put a couple pieces of box section in here to hold it on the front, and then spin around and do the back. But I'm still procrastinating, you know? It's like, what else can I measure? It's level. It's on the same plane as the chassis. Side to side, it's within a mil. Front to back is exactly the same. I think that's it. I don't think I can procrastinate anymore. I think it is time to get us stuck on. Right, scrap metal piles out. I was going to use those, but then I actually measured the height. I think so. These grounds, that's going to get shaved straight forward, which is fine. That's good. And there, but this height here is about 2 inches. 2 inches is slightly lower, you know. So I reckon we may go of 2 pieces of box section, one there, back to back. No, side by side, going across, to get some strength into the A-pillar, because I want this strong. Have I said that before? I think I've said that before. Okay, was going to go smaller, but there's the 2-inch stuff that's in there. And the OEMs always seem to derive strength from multiple skins. Thus, they didn't get a piece going straight forward and back, went this way. So you've got a central double thick wall, if you will. So let's see the same size on the other side. Hope they are. The welder is cranked. 2 pieces there. Front piece is going to get done first, so I can weld all the way around it, clean out the seam sealer on the back, so we can get a nice, hopefully not snap, crackle and pop weld. And same here, clean up seam sealer on the back. That's how they're going to sit. Pull that out, do the first one. Then I'm probably going to do another rod across here as well. That'll be that. And then we shall move on to the back. And I didn't cover anything up when I was getting rid of the seam sealer. I suppose that's kind of the epitome of prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Yep. I am returning from a full-scale meltdown. I got a bit weld happy, and instead of just tacking these 2 in, I thought, weld it. So did. Then looked at that lip right there in relation to the bottom of that strengthening doohickey. And then came around this side, and it was level with that. At which point, I completely lost my mind. So, took my bars out from underneath, thinking they were bent, and it didn't have the cab level. Put it on bricks. Everything's zeroed. Everything's zeroed side to side. So, radiators at 0. Dash is level, rear window frames level, that's level, that mount level, everything's zeroed out, completely level. So I thought to myself, I wonder how tall this lip is compared to the non-genuine panel. Turns out it's about 3 mil taller. So, yep, okay, you know. Everybody has to have a heart attack once, right? Jesus. Okay, I guess I'll weld these 2 in now. Done some intermediate mounts, shall we say. So we got those there. As you can see, I had a complete brain fart and thought, oh, I can jump weld across that gap. That's fine. The eagle-eyed among you will realise that that one is slightly further out than the other one. It's within the sill. I think there's a bump halfway along, probably from me taking a spot weld out that's kicked out the back end of this a little bit. But it doesn't make any difference to the anything. So put a piece of flat stock in there and weld it across, and it doesn't make any difference to the actual bottom. It's just the top that's actually kicked out more. Such is life. So that rear's in. Those two fronts are in. Then we're gonna go around here, and this rear mount I want to say is about 2mm shorter than the other one. So I'm assuming I'm dealing with GM 1970 manufacturing tolerance run out. They're the same. The back one needs a bit of a shave, but they're the same on both sides. All the measurements I could take were the same, angles were the same, levels were the same. So yeah, that lip's taller on this side, so it just looks different on the strengthening bar there. Now, I'm either going to put another like 2 of those, let's say, in there, possibly, or we can do the back mount going across there, bar across the bottom, I would assume. Definitely freaking myself out today. Looking down quickly, that doesn't look centered. Now I know in some cars the transmission tunnel is biased, so luckily to stop myself freaking out, I just made this for that side, and that side's longer. This side definitely shorter. Let's get the back of the cab done. So I would like to put a speaker box of some sort. So this doesn't have to be aesthetically amazing, but strong, kind of my thing. So yeah, I'm just going to do box section across, 2 legs down, and then won't have any kind of like deflection in the back. Maybe using this for an aspect of strength coming through from here. What are we up to? Back of the cab. Right. Cuts are relatively even. Doesn't matter that much. 2 pieces of box section, 2 verticals. Then you can have no kind of like flappy back of the cab sort of situation, because I'm just going to go straight down and cut it. There is a plan to put a speaker box here as well behind the seats, which will cover all this up. And also there's something else that may be going on behind here to do with going rearward. I shall leave it there. We are as welded in as we need to be right now. This thing, solid. Very, very happy. So stanchions at the back, all done.
What you got?
Is it square? Is the button square?
Yes, the button's square.
Okay.
That is actually really helpful. I never knew that before, so will stop me thinking I'm videoing when I'm not.
It's on.
That's awesome. It is very on.
Right.
And you're saying fenders today, right?
Fenders today.
See, I only get excited about things I can really see.
Yeah, it'll change shape. It's going to start changing shape now because got fenders, then core support, and core support's just 2 brackets. I'm not going to put inner fenders on yet, and then it's going to be a case of starting to mess around with bedsides and stuff like that.
Awesome. More truck, less Terminator.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Awesome. Awesome.
And on that note, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. This build really is now getting exciting. I shall see you next time. Happy days.